progress.
It is 7:35, and we will open the Planning Board meeting of July 9th, 2025. We will start with announcements, open session, and public comment that is not related to the public hearing. Well, I have some announcements to make, if no one else does. First of all, we have Beth Piles, our town planner, available on Zoom. We have Justin Parada, the town's attorney, representing the town's attorney on Zoom. And I believe we have Dan Gagne, also on Zoom. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize our fellow member and previous vice chair, David Mead Fox, as this is his last meeting tonight. And his last presence as a member of this board. I hope he will come back in other means, but
I'll come back and I'll sit out there.
But as a member of the board, this is your last meeting, and on behalf of the board, speaking for the board, I want to thank you, David, for all you have done for us over the years, both as a member and as a vice chair. And you've just been so thoughtful and so gracious, and you've done wonderful work here, and we will really miss you.
Thank you. It's very kind. I appreciate your kind words. I will miss all of you as well.
But we wish you well, and good woodworking.
I brushed the sawdust off me right before I came tonight. Thank you.
Through the vice chair, through the vice chair, this is Beth Biles. So I echo those sentiments. I thank you so much for your service, David. It has been a true pleasure working with you, and you have gone above and beyond in your service to this town. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Beth. Appreciate it.
Amen.
Oh, there's Bonnie.
Yes.
Okay, and if there are no other announcements or comments in this open session, I will open up the public hearing that we are reconvening from May 7th, 2025, on the owner and application of 230-270 Old Kings Highway, Kevin Sexton, trustee, Post Office Box 237, South Wellfleet, Massachusetts, 02663. Definitive subdivision plan submission dated April 9, 2024. Located on the Assessor's Map number 23, lot numbers 83 and 82-1, 230/270 Old Kings Highway. The hearing is now open for public comment. There's nobody online? Okay, hearing no more public comment at this time, we'll close the public comment period. That being said, if anyone in the public has something to add as the public hearing continues, I invite and encourage you to raise your hand to speak. Mr. Pesci, you submitted several revised documents on July 3rd, 2025, around noon. I believe that our review engineers did not have adequate time to review them. However, they are with us, and perhaps they will join in as we go. My personal observation is that this seems to be a pattern. Submissions without time for our review team to spend the necessary time to respond. Nonetheless, Mr. Gagné, I'm sure, will do his best to advise the planning board. He may also have reason to defer for further study. So please proceed with your revised plan.
So, good evening, Madam Vice Chair and members of the board. For the record, I'm Ed Pesci of Pesci Engineering, representing the applicant. With me is the applicant Kevin Sexton and his attorney Al Schultz. We submitted a number of revised plans. Yes, they were submitted during the month of June and July 3rd being the last several documents. I'll just go through the list. Revised plans and a drainage addendum, a revised HOA with language. We took comment from the board before with language added to it regarding maintenance O&M of the stormwater management system. A street network plan was submitted. Responses to Beals and Thomas peer review comments was submitted, and a revised list of waivers. I will note that during the revisions, we didn't catch, during the revisions of the plans, we didn't catch the fact that one of those waivers for the 18-inch berm is not necessary because we do not have anywhere on the new revised design a slope greater than 3%. So one of those 4 waivers is no longer needed because we don't have a steeper than 3% slope on any of the subdivision road. Part of the need, or excuse me, part of the reason for submission a week or so ago is partially my family's fault. I have a 92-year-old dad, an 82-year-old sister-in-law, and we've been dealing with off-site, off-Cape, and in Western Mass in Springfield, providing care. It has definitely taken, I explained this to Beth Piles, but it's definitely taken some of my time and then unfortunately taken time away from this. So we certainly sympathize with the need to get documents to the board expeditiously and to the peer review engineer expeditiously so they can take a review of it. In that vein, I'd like to offer something that our team has discussed today, and we were thinking that the board might want to accept this since we're moving to the next step here, trying to get this reviewed, that we would like to offer to the board that we revise the plans to remove all waivers. So we have to request any waivers. So we provide revised plans so that none of the waivers will be required. And indeed, one of the discussions, one of the comments regarding property line radius would be removed. It requires me to redesign the entrance road in lots 2, 3, and 4 to be able to accommodate that, but it can be accommodated. And I think that would be the best way forward for Beals and Thomas's review and the board's review. Obviously, it would take some time to do that. One of the items that we would be asking, that we would be deleting, would be the staking of the lot. And we'd have to get out there and restake part of the lot and to add some additional stakes beyond what we did in December for our site walk in December to comply with the subdivision rules and regs, which we can do. It'll probably take a month to schedule that with the surveyor and to get it done, but it can be done. But that would remove all the waivers and the board would not be compelled to review any waivers going forward. So we'd like to offer that. I realize that would make this meeting relatively short. We request a continuance to allow time to revise the plans to get the lot staked as the subdivision rules call for. And then we'd have a better review, perhaps at the next review, with enough time to get that review or the documentation to Beals and Thomas way before the board would need it, certainly, but in order to give them a couple of weeks to review. So we'd like to offer that as a possible way forward and request a continuance to do so.
Well, that's a surprise. Um, It's a healthy surprise. Thank you. One thing you didn't address is Lot 8, which you do not have a waiver in existence around Lot 8. So let's take up the question of Lot 8. Can we? I think all of the board members have a record of the conversation that has been going on between you and the fire chief. Let me just call your attention, board members, to in your maps, because this is the first time you are seeing this. In your maps, you have the new proposal for the fire truck access plan. I'm just looking for mine. There it is. So this is a revision that you have not seen before tonight. So let's look at that so that we can understand.
Was that part of the packet?
Yeah, it's part of your packet.
Okay.
Oh, it's in the packet.
Okay.
What page number is that?
No, it's a map.
Sheet 9 of 11.
Sheet
of 11?
sheet 9.
Sorry, Beth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sheet 9 of 11. So this is a new piece of the subdivision plan, which includes, as you see, a driveway from the cul-de-sac to the imaginary placement of a home on Lot 8. I say imaginary because it doesn't have to be there. If it is there, this driveway is over 600 feet long. In my mind, the house could be another 100 feet, it could be a 700-foot driveway. But as proposed, it's 600-plus feet. Am I correct? It could be longer than that.
No, I don't
Why
think
not?
so, Madam Chair. The fire chief said 600, but he wasn't using a scale in any way. That doesn't mean it's not a short driveway. It is. Is not, excuse me, it is a long driveway.
Well, I measured it, I'm not going by the chief.
Then
used
I'd
your
say
scale.
then I'd say it's less than 600 feet. I can tell you that the flat area from one end to the other is 465 feet.
Yes.
So it still complies with your law, regulation, and zoning bylaw. So there's no prohibition to the length of a road, or, excuse me, of a driveway for this to be accessed.
Well,
In
no.
fact,
Well, hold on. That's just the straightaway. That doesn't include access to the cul-de-sac or going down to the house, which doesn't have to be in that particular spot. That's just where you have put it.
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to call that a 600-foot driveway.
Okay.
It could be more, it could be slightly less.
You can call it anything you want.
Yep, I understood.
I'm going by your map. So, access to Lot 8, you call it a driveway. I call it a road extension. Whatever you want to call it, it is an excessive distance from the cul-de-sac, which is 600 feet from the road. Now we have another 600 feet to Lot 8, and we have a fire chief who says to you, I'll just read the important part. As far as I'm concerned, the most recent set of plans you had me review will not work if you have a 600-foot driveway to Lot 8. If you eliminate Lot 8, I will give my approval. So that's where we are, Board.
Right.
Through the vice chair,
Yes,
I agree with that. So I would say that that is not adequate access to
Not-
lot 8.
So Madam Chair, Vice Chair,
Yes,
the previous design used Duck Pond Road as the access. There was no discussion about an extra driveway at all. Duck Pond Road was used as access, just like it's used for another lot that's nearby. So we thought that was reasonable. When the fire chief and I met on May 28th with Kevin Sexton and I, we focused on 538 and 548, but we brought out this plan to talk to him about his question that he emailed me about lots 7, 8, and 9. And I said, Chief, that's the old design. There's no lot 9 anymore. There's only lots 7 and 8. We pointed this out. We showed him what was done. He goes, well, I'd prefer a separate driveway. Make it 14 feet. It's long. It's longer than I'd like, but it's long. If you make it 14 feet wide, I can live with it. Words to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. So we put a design together. I sent it to him. He didn't like it. He needed a turnaround. We added a turnaround. That's the one you have here that's near the house. He still didn't like it. He didn't tell me what's not long, what's acceptable. He just said he didn't like it. And I don't think he has the right or has the obligation to delete a lot from a subdivision design.
he's not deleting the lot. He's telling you he won't approve this with the lot.
Understood.
He's not eliminating
He
anything.
doesn't have any discretion, and neither does the board, to say anything about a lot. It's access to the lot.
That's what we're talking about, access to the lot.
Yes, and
Adequate-
sorry, through
Adequate
the
access
Vice
to the
Chair.
lot.
That's over.
through the Vice Chair.
Yes, Beth?
It is about adequate access, and based on the information we have, there is not adequate access. I'm not a voting member on the board, but I am the town planner, and if there is not adequate access, I think that is not sufficient to approve a plan.
Through you, Madam Chair, what's inadequate about it, Beth? Just so we have it understood what you mean. I'm not trying to disagree with you. I just want to understand what's inadequate about a 14-foot wide road that's paved to access the house. Tell me what's not adequate.
It's the length.
So the length. There's no regulation, code, or zoning bylaw that precludes the length of a driveway. And I can eliminate that driveway and just use Duck Pond Road.
Well, that
So,
also had issues, didn't it?
It didn't.
It did.
He preferred to have a separate driveway, so we provided a separate driveway.
No, Duck Pond Road had issues, because if you're in Duck Pond Road with fire trucks, it no longer becomes accessible to other people or other emergency vehicles because you have hoses and whatever in the road.
Not if it approaches Lot 8, they'll be on Lot 8, they'll be off the road. So I didn't understand that to begin with, nor did I ever understand how long a driveway would be acceptable. The length of the road, again, I understand the issue. Believe me, folks, I've been at this a while with him and on this project. I understand the issue. I can probably change somehow the alignment or the lot layout to reduce the length. But again, I don't know how much length reduction is acceptable when there's
So let
no
me just-
regulation
Let me
against
just
it.
say this. We have a regulation that says 1,000 feet. When I look at your map, I see a 600-foot-plus subdivision road with a 600-plus foot driveway extending it. To me, that's a 1,200-foot road. In terms of access,
Understood, that's your interpretation.
in
Understood.
terms of access. And that access is only to the house where you put it. Lot 8 extends much further than that.
The footprint for the house lot doesn't extend much further than that.
No, but I went by the campsite today, and I saw a sign in their entranceway that says, "Very high fire alert." Now, what if there's a fire on Lot 8 beyond the house?
how does the house and the driveway and Lot 8 preclude fighting that fire? How does it
Well,
hurt?
we've already gone 1,200 feet. Now we can, now we're looking at,
We're supposed to provide access beyond Lot 8 for fire
no,
trucks?
that's on Lot 8. I'm talking about Lot 8, beyond where you have placed the house.
Again, you have access through a public road, publicly accessed private road, Duck Pond Road, and you have now a different access via a 14-foot wide driveway.
Which the fire chief says is not
I
adequate
I
access.
completely understand that.
Beth, could I add a comment about this? One thing that seems clear,
No, look, go ahead, David.
one thing that seems clear to me is that it's not, in my mind, it's not about the fire chief saying anything about a given lot. It's just, he's talking about it not being safe in terms of fire vehicle access, and he doesn't want to and will not approve it. It's not our job to second-guess the fire chief. It's not our job to explain something, some technical reason the fire chief may have had. All I can go by is his conclusion, which is very clear and very straightforward. I have no interest in questioning it or having it questions because he is our fire chief and he has the right to have to come to that kind of conclusion about any subdivision. It's not unique to this one. That's just my view of it.
Thank you, David. I think Bonnie
In-
had her hand up.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Bonnie.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Beth, and Madam
Miles or
Chair.
Singer?
Yes, Beth Singer. I wanted to bring up a slightly different issue, but also having to do with Duck Pond Road, but I don't know if this is the right time in the meeting to do that.
I think not,
Okay,
if you can hold
I will
that.
bring it up later.
Thank
I just want to put it on,
Thank you.
yeah.
So just let me remind everybody that Duck Pond Road in and of itself does not fall under our purview. So we have no authority over Duck Pond Road. That belongs elsewhere. That's
So
according
through-
to our attorneys. Yes, Beth?
Through the vice chair,
Yes.
it is, the issue is adequate access, which is within the purview of the planning board. And that's what this is about.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, this is on? Yeah. I also have a similar issue with Lot 8. And some of the notes that are shown on your drawing, sheet 9 of 11, such as provide area free of obstructions over 6 inches is height for fire truck overhang. Are you proposing that the owner of Lot 8 has to maintain a clearance of obstructions of 6 inches in height for fire truck overhang?
It's just a bumper overhang trace that's there. You just
Okay.
remove the trees. If there are trees in the way, it would get removed before we could certify that road was clear.
Okay, and so that would not be,
Once you remove the tree, honestly,
okay. So
Don,
that's,
once you remove the tree, you would never have a problem because any fire truck on the planet can go over brush. Nothing will slow them down.
all right, so this is not for the homeowner?
No.
This is for the developer to make sure that that is.
Well,
is done.
it would definitely be the requirement of the owner of the lot to maintain it, certainly to take care of having it done before the lot is accepted by the building inspector, yes. But it
Okay.
could become part of the requirement at that location for the developer. It's not a significant change.
And if 5 years down the road, the tree grows down and it's obstructed, who goes in there and removes that?
5 years down the road, you're going to have a tree that's going to prevent a fire truck from doing anything? No, not a chance.
Okay,
There's going to be no tree there.
okay,
There should be brush,
all right.
maybe, ground cover.
So another issue I have is concerning the zoning bylaws. So as you know, there's a zoning bylaw, and it was mentioned in the June 30th letter in your response to the engineering peer review about the regulation that requires all lots to have access by a street. So the peer review said section 4.03.e of the regulations require that all lots have access via streets. Proposed Lot 8 does not have access by a street. It has access by something. You refer to it as a driveway. If I look at the zoning bylaw regulation definitions, a street is a street or way other than a private way. So then I would conclude that the pathway that you've shown from the turnaround to Lot 8 will become a public road, and the public can drive down that road as they wish.
No.
Well, then it's
Then
not a
it-
street.
Then where is the street?
Lot 8 does not have access to a street.
It's part of the lot, it's the
No.
panhandle of the lot.
Where
It's
is
not
the
a way-
street access?
The public, the peer review comment asked for us to provide access from the actual subdivision road. That's what the driveway does.
No,
That's what
it
the
says
separate driveway
proposed
does.
Lot 8 does not appear to have
Which
access.
comment are you referring to, so I can follow?
Comment 1 point,
No, which comment answer, which number?
well, yeah, 1.3, or 13.
13.
So if I go by the subdivision regulations, the bylaw and regulations, definition of a street, I don't see how Lot 8 abuts a street.
Lot 8 abuts a street, it has frontage on a street. That's the only way it has the ability to be a lot,
The
has frontage
street-
on the street.
The street being the subdivision road?
Correct.
That's correct.
Of that tiny little, that's what you're referring to
It
as the
meets
street.
zoning.
Yes.
That's how it complies with zoning.
If there are no waivers and you have Board of Health approval, your
Well,
board
let's-
cannot.
let's go- let's-
You can't disapprove or disapprove the subdivision.
First
You
of
can't
all,
do it.
what you have proposed to us tonight has waivers.
Okay. And we've offered to eliminate all of the waivers. All we have to do is file an amended plan with no waivers, and you have no discretion to deny the plan.
I
If you-
disagree.
Okay, fine.
Adequate access to Lot 8 is a reason to deny your proposal of tonight, because that is your proposal tonight.
We've gone over this, and Attorney Parada told you several times at prior meetings exactly what I just told you.
Attorney Parada, would you like to answer that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's not true. What I said was, you don't have authority over Duck Pond Road. One of the board's tasks, according to the subdivision regs, is to ensure or make certain that there's adequate access to each lot. That doesn't just mean the physical area of the lot, that means also the buildable area. And the board does have discretion to deny the plan if there's not adequate access to the lot. Certainly, the fire chief's opinion can inform the board's decision on that point.
I guess the question then is, what do you say is the lot? The lot isn't the panhandle. I mean, the
lot is the
includes
buildable
the
area of the
panhandle.
lot.
No.
The lot is the buildable area of the lot.
Okay, well,
I mean,
listen.
you
so you
Deny
can-
it,
I mean, if-
deny it on that, and we'll.
If there
deal
was,
with it.
if there was a 1 inch wide, well, why don't you make the driveway 1 inch wide then?
No, it meets zoning.
I know, but it
meets-
has to have, it has to have adequate access to the buildable area of the lot. That's in the subdivision regs.
Yeah, and a 14-foot wide driveway, no matter how long it is, and that the fact that the fire chief doesn't like it, is adequate access. The fact.
In your opinion,
That's
in
your
my opinion, the
opinion.
board has discretion to decide otherwise.
I completely understand that, and that's
So let's turn it to the board.
that's the problem that we have.
So let's turn it to the board, because,
Through the chair.
Yes.
I agree with Attorney Parada.
thank you. So I'm going to turn it to the board at this point, because clearly you're at an impasse.
I mean, we're being asked to delete Lot 8, essentially, and that's effectively what we're being asked to do. And then if we did that, there would be no objection by the board or the chief, for that matter, sounds like.
I think that's an alternative,
Yeah,
but
it-
that's not what's before us.
Beth, could I just add, we're discussing this one piece of your application, but even if there was no Lot 8 magically at this moment, or if the board meets again about this, it seems to me there are honestly multiple other reasons for us to be concerned about this subdivision application. So there's no reason in my mind, because we have not ever said, if you do X, Y, Z, we'll approve the plan. We've never said that. We've talked about issue after issue after issue over many, many months, over a great long period of time. Some of those things are still out there. There's an additional state environmental review, I think, for this subdivision that you mentioned offhand, Ed, that we didn't know anything about. You had previously said all the approvals, environmental approvals are done, and you said, oh, by the way, there's another state agency that has to do an environmental review, I think, for this subdivision at the last meeting?
I don't, through you, Madam Chair, I don't recall saying that. What I said was the review by the Natural Heritage folks was discussed, this layout was discussed, they accepted it. We wanted to get your approval, then we go back to them with a full application package, because it takes many months to go through that, because it's a higher level review than the previous application. So
Okay,
it's a higher review.
okay, I hear what you're saying.
So it's not completed.
I hear what you say tonight. The only way we can resolve that is to listen to the recording of the meeting. I don't want to get into a debate about it now.
But
Well,
but it
and-
doesn't preclude you from approving the project with a condition that we go get the permits from the other state agency that were required.
And
I'm just giving that as an example, sorry.
There's another
Of-
example.
It isn't just about Lot 8 is my only point.
right, there are other examples
things
of
that we
that.
have in mind, and where there may be something new that comes up. That's how these applications have gone. So I just want to clear the air. Don't assume that even if you wave a magic wand about Lot 8, that we're going to approve the subdivision plan. We have no reason to make that commitment, just to be clear, right? I mean, okay.
Well,
that's
we
all.
have not gotten there at all
Right,
yet.
right.
Another example of that would be that you presented a plan to the Board of Health months ago. The plan has changed multiple times since then, and they have not received anything new.
That's not correct.
Well, that's what they told me today.
We have not changed the plan. We have not changed the well and septic plan. The lot layout has not changed. If we
The lot
agree,
layout has changed.
No, it
because
has not.
Well, you changed the road.
we did change the road,
To
the grading of the
change the
road.
lot.
We didn't change the lot. The property lines have not changed. The well and septic plan has not changed since February. Last year, we had a 9-lot subdivision. That changed. We changed it to 8. We did get that approved by the Board of Health in February. So that has
And
not
there have
changed.
been no other changes.
Zip.
But, you know.
You know what? This is the reason I ask. Because normally, I'm a layperson. I'm not an architect. I'm not a contractor. I'm not a engineer. I'm a layperson, like other people on this board. And you have presented us with individual maps of each thing. And I have never seen a picture of the whole thing. A map with the homes, with the septic, with the wells, with the elevations, with the neighbors. I've never seen that map. I have to go from map to map to map to find.
It's a subdivision drawing, Madam Vice Chair. You're not required to review that.
I'm just saying,
But you
you
do have.
make it very
you do have-
difficult.
You do have 2 maps, if you want to call it that, sheets that show the entire subdivision. Sheet number 3, which is the definitive subdivision plan, shows all the lot layouts that I've described. And sheet 8 of 11, which is the well and septic plan, which shows the exact same full lot layout that I've described. Exact same. Then you also have, and I've never done this before, you've never required it before, but we did provide it. You
Lot
also
3 doesn't have a driveway on it.
Say again?
3 of 11 doesn't have a driveway
They don't
on
have
it.
any driveways. The definitive subdivision plan doesn't show that. So what we
It's
did,
not required under the rules and
I'm
regulations.
just saying to you, you make it very difficult for me, regardless of the regulations, to understand what you are proposing.
It's outside of your purview to,
Okay, never mind.
we prepare a sheet 9, excuse me, a sheet 11. I'm sorry, a sheet
Madam Vice
10,
Chair.
which is a conceptual lot grading plan that shows all the layouts of the houses on the subdivision road. Because that's what one of the comments from your peer review consultant. We've never done that before. That's not a requirement for subdivision rules. So we're not supposed, you're not designing each individual lot, you're designing the subdivision. So when it comes time to pulling a building permit for each lot, that's how the building inspector gets involved and the Board of Health gets involved. The review does happen, it just happens then, not now. But we did attempt to provide that information.
Madam Vice Chair.
Yes, sir.
Just further to our Vice Chair's comment about the drawings, if you go to your sheet 3 of 11, okay, you said that there are 8 lots.
Mm-hmm.
This sheet refers to lot 9 and 10. So where are lots 9 and 10? If you look at your note 8 at the bottom of the sheet.
I didn't catch that. The surveyor never changed that note.
Okay, so then this drawing has a mistake on it.
It has an error on it, yeah.
Okay. If you go to drawing sheet 8 of 11,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the revised or the proposed new entry to Duck Pond Road from Old Kings Highway.
Doesn't need to. It has no relevance on where the well and septic are going to go.
Well, I know, but it just means that this sheet is not consistent with other sheets, which do show the revised entrance of Duck Pond Road.
But this sheet shows what it's supposed to show, and it's relevant for its
Okay.
purpose.
Okay.
That's all.
It's just inconsistent. If you go
I
to-
disagree. It's consistent for its purpose.
If you go to sheet 10 of 11,
Yeah?
this is the landscape plan. Does this landscape plan cover your entire development? Is the landscape plan for the entire development?
This is the landscape plan for the subdivision road, correct?
Correct. So where are lots 1, 2, and 3?
Lots 1, 2, and 3 are not part of the subdivision road layout.
I don't
It's a
know.
part of their actual, what's called, I know you may not know this yet, but they're called A&R lots. They could be provided without a subdivision rule.
Okay.
Without a subdivision approval. So they're not included in the subdivision design.
But it does say landscape plan.
Correct.
You don't indicate for which lots. So.
I do
someone-
indicate the lots on their lot, the lot names.
No,
excuse
no,
me, lot
on the title of
indications.
on the title of the drawing. Someone looking at the title would think that this is a landscape plan for the entire
It
development.
is the lots, the landscape plan for the entire thing. I'm sorry you're confused about
Oh,
that, but the
okay.
landscaping on the other lots, 1 through 3, only involve the landscaping around their houses. That all happens when they go to build the house.
Okay. So then I guess the same thing goes for your sheet number 11? So conceptual lot grading does not
Correct.
need to cover 1, 2, and 3?
Correct.
Okay.
I just want to add one more thing to that. All of your sheets indicate that Duck Pond Road is 10 feet wide. That's not accurate. That's not a current existing picture of Duck Pond Road. In some places, it's 10 feet wide. In some places, it's quite wider. In some places, it's a little narrower. So it is not an accurate picture of the existing road. However, if somebody buys a lot and goes by your drawing, they're going to assume that it is 10 feet, no matter what it is at that point, in
The sur-
actuality.
The surveyor labeled the locations where it's 10 feet wide. That's how we came up with that. We didn't locate it, the surveyor did, so that's where it is. And I
know,
checked it
well,
myself.
Right,
There
so
there are places, like at the entrance, like you said, it's wider.
much wider,
Right.
much wider than the entrance you propose.
We're proposing at least a 15-foot wide road here. let me restate that with the right answer here. We propose to have it 12 feet wide at the narrowest point. It's only 10 feet wide now, and then at the throat, it's 62.7 feet wide at the entrance from Old Kings Highway. So it's shown, that's shown on sheet 5.
Well, if you look at that, the existing one is much wider than the one you're proposing.
We show a 20-foot radius on the new road that's reasonable for access to that road. It can be wider if the
Well,
board
no,
wants it to be
you're
a little
asking for
wider.
a waiver there.
No,
You
I'm
were
not.
asking-
There's no waiver. There's no waiver
Well,
there.
there is in what you proposed tonight.
There's no waiver
aside
for that
from-
entrance. Is that what you mean? I'm not sure what you mean.
There's no waiver for that entrance?
No. We're just relocating the road between the two lots to make the home site for Lot 1 a little bit easier. Yeah, it's proposed, right. Proposed home site, right.
May I for a second?
Sure.
If you start at the pavement on Old Kings Highway, and you go all the way down Duck Pond Road, or whatever we're gonna call this, there are places in that road that are gonna be 17, 18 feet wide. It doesn't show that. The problem I have is, and I'm not discussing the road, that's not my discussion in this, but in our subdivision control bylaw, which I wasn't gonna get involved with tonight, it does say that existing proposed lines of streets, ways, easements, and other widths, sidewalks, footpaths, bicycle paths, and their widths will be shown. You show a generic road that Slade drew. Would
To
you
this point, I didn't see any
No, but
objection by you.
would you disagree with that statement? That's a generic road that Slade drew.
No, I don't agree with the word generic. It was taken off of a plan that Duck Pond Road was located by instrument and shown on that plan. So that's the historic width. Just because perhaps Mr. Parent or somebody widened it doesn't mean that that's the width of Duck Pond Road now.
And did we state it was 10 feet wide on our plan? Because I'm
You-
trying to find that.
Yes.
I don't see it on the plan myself. Is it somewhere? Can you point out to where we actually label it as 10 feet wide?
Well, you can scale it out.
Duck Pond Road has
It doesn't-
nothing
it
to
does
do
not
with
vary.
this subdivision.
Excuse me?
It has nothing to do with this subdivision hearing.
Well, under Wellfleet bylaw and regulations, number 5, in the contents of a definitive plan, read number 5, if you would, please.
I'm sorry, where are you?
Through the chair, may I read it?
This is going to end.
This is Beth Piles.
This is,
I mean, we could add dimensions if that's going to help you
I
understand it
don't think we
more.
need to go there. I think what you're hearing is that several members of the board have issues with the confusion we have over the plans and their changes and their lack of consistency and their lack of unity. That's just a statement.
And,
So why don't you tell us what your concerns are?
You just heard a list. You've heard lists. Several different things.
Let me add one other thing to our list, and you can, I don't think we're obliged to repeat things we've already said, but this is a new one. It seems to me reasonable and normal when you revise a subdivision application that's supposed to go to the Department of Health, the Fire Department, DPW, there's nowhere in it that says the applicant can decide that the changes were not relevant to the Department of Health. That's not in our bylaws. A new plan, doesn't matter what's in it, is supposed to go to the Department of Health. So that's just an example, and it's not the only thing, and that's, you see the list of how the process is supposed to work for a subdivision application, and it doesn't say if it's a revision, you don't have to submit it to them. plans have to go to the Department of Health, period, regardless of what's in them.
In fact, it says you distribute them to the Board of Health, and you distribute them to the other departments, not us. But there are no changes in the lot layout or the well and septic layout. I don't know what I would tell the Board of Health. Here's one with a different date. Can you meet and discuss it? I'm happy to do that if that's what the board wants. But as it is right now, you're heading where we were offering to change the design, and I think this is important for us to talk about Lot 8. So I know it's painful, but I want to make sure we talk about Lot 8, get it out of the way, so we know what direction to follow. And I think that's what's going to change the design. I think that would require us to go back to the Board of Health to get a new well and septic approval. It would not be any issue, because it'd be one less well and septic to worry about. But it's you know, I agree that there's no you know, requirement on your part. There's no requirement on my part to make that decision. It's up to the other boards or commissions. But I did make a decision that there's no change in the lot line since February's approval by the Board of Health. There's no change in the well and septic locations since February. That I'll stand on. So that wasn't an issue. You do have some requirements to coordinate reviews with the fire chief, with DPW, if there is a sewer connection. There is no sewer connection. You still asked me to go do it, and I did that. And I did provide the DPW director week ago a revised plan addressing his comments. I haven't been able to get through to him before tonight's hearing to see if he was satisfied with those revisions. I directly answered his comments.
Do we have that?
Yep. I included you guys well, I certainly included Beth in that email to him. So I think we satisfactorily responded to him. He wanted to make sure that the O&M plan was strict. So nobody ever sent him the O&M plan, so we sent him the O&M plan. Then I sent him a copy of the revised layout plan showing him that the separation distance for infiltration system 1 was more than 8 feet. Now it's 15 feet. I think that would properly address his comment. I think that's a reasonable thing for us to do. So we did that. And I would be happy to meet with him. I intended to meet with him to make sure he was all set before we finalize all this. And, you know, even if we didn't get to finalize it all tonight, I was planning to meet with him anyway. So I was going to just make sure he was in good shape with that. So we've been at this for over a year. I've never heard any of these comments about them being a disjointed set of plans, that you don't see enough of the same thing on the same sheet. I've never heard any of this before. It's not part of your subdivision rules. And I would have done it if you'd asked. We've done everything you've asked.
Oh, no, you have not.
We have done everything you've asked.
Let's just stop right there. We have asked you to stake multiple times. You have not staked. You've come back with waivers so that you don't have to stake. Let's just be honest.
We got agreement on what to stake last December, and that's when we went out to the field, okay? So don't tell me we didn't ask you. We did speak to you, and we got agreement, and we went out into the field and did that. No one told me we couldn't do that. You told
I'm
us
going
to
to
do
stop
that.
you right there. I don't usually interrupt people with this thing. When we went out in the field,
Yes, sir.
you told me multiple times that the stakes were missing because people took them down, or threw them away, or you didn't know where they were. The stakes were on the other side of the road, being Duck Pond Road. Mr. Parent happened to be there. Other than that, we wouldn't have known where they were. You did not even know where they were. You kept saying somebody got rid of them.
No, I said there was a potential for someone to get rid of them.
Because you couldn't find them. You were 60 to 100 feet away from where the stakes were.
I didn't expect the surveyor had staked it the week before, had given us a map and showed us where it was. We walked it together. I found all of those stakes except the ones in front of Mr. Parent's house. Thankfully, we found those together.
Because
Yes.
the whole idea was that to find out where the road intersected out of your property and back in. So basically, tonight, you've given us a subdivision with a road and a driveway that you believe, the driveway we have no jurisdiction over. And the fire department has told us that that driveway is unsafe. That's what I'm making my motion on. I move to deny. I might want to get the right number. although the other one doesn't exist anymore. 230, 270 Old Kings Highway. I make a motion to deny the application for the definitive subdivision plan.
Because,
Because the fire chief, in a letter dated, which one should we go by, July 8th?
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
That would be the last part of it. July 8th
Yeah.
to the planning board.
I will second that.
Through the chair, can we add that the reason for denial is inadequate access?
My mistake, yes.
I'll second that amendment.
so we're going to amend the motion to be to deny the application for 230, 270 Old Kings Highway because Lot 8 does not have adequate, safe access.
Correct. And Justin, if you can chime in, yes, thank you.
That sounds like a reasonable motion to me, if that's the motion the board wants to vote on.
Okay, so did everybody get that motion?
I certainly accept the,
Would the board consider us requesting a continuance so we can
Just a
speak to
minute,
the fire chief?
just a minute, we're in a motion. Is there a second to the motion?
Yeah, I seconded it already.
But, Madam Vice Chair, may I ask
Yes,
a question
yes.
before we go?
Yes,
Just before we finalize this motion, I wanted to ask this question, and this is directed to Mr. Sexton. As a developer, are you 100% confident and love this 8-unit development plan? Or do you feel that you've come up with a development plan which shows 7 good accessible lots, and yet you forced in an 8th one? Are you 100% comfortable with that 8th lot the way you've designed it?
I don't think forcing Lot 8 in is any different than the abutter to the north, Mr. Parent, forcing his lot in. It's the same type of panhandle lot. It's accepted everywhere else in town, and for some reason, we have a problem with it tonight.
Okay, so you have no issue, to you, this is a well-designed, perfect lot, easily to be sold to any person who wants to build a house there?
I think
It
Lot
meets
8's probably the
zoning.
best lot on
That's
there.
the end of it.
Okay.
It meets zoning.
Yeah, I know, I'm just asking the proponent, the designer of it, that he's 100% comfortable with that lot.
I think Lot 8's one of the nicest lots on the plan.
Okay, thank you.
discussion?
In regards to a continuance,
We'll waive that.
isn't there already a continuance on the records until December?
Well,
No.
it's up to
17th?
us whether
No.
we continue.
That one
It's
has
up to
been
us.
taken off.
It was proposed informally
Yeah,
through
it
town planner.
hasn't been settled.
your date to,
It wasn't a continuance.
That's our
To
deadline.
continue the hearing, it was a
Okay.
deadline, right.
Okay, that clears that up.
The deadline
Then-
is October 15th.
For us to
But it's
make
a deadline.
decision, which
The
is-
current deadline,
Yes.
yes. I feel really
So we
bad,
have a
guys.
motion and a second, and this is time for the board to discuss unless they ask you a question. Bonnie?
Through the vice chair, I just want to echo what David Mead Fox said, which is that there are other concerns about this subdivision that we have not discussed tonight, but I agree with the motion.
Any other comments before we vote?
I'm sort of torn with this, with the motion. I personally would like to see a completely new plan.
But that's not
Vote.
before us.
Oh, I know it's not before us. But lacking that, and in light of the fact that over the past year, the applicant and the representatives have continually addressed issues and requirements that are in the regulations that are spelled out, that you could make a checklist. Here are the 10, 15 things, and we get 8. We get 9. Continuation, we get 10. We get 11. I think it is disrespectful to the board, to town members who are spending a year's worth of time on and off addressing these things when all of it could have been addressed day one with a complete, accurate set of plans and that followed the requirements of the subdivision regulations. And it's personally frustrating to me, and that clouds my view of the subdivision in total. And I support the amendment to just stop it.
I think we're ready to vote. Let's do a roll call vote. Bonnie, would you like to start?
Aye.
David?
David, aye.
Don Themis, aye.
Bob Dupuy? Aye.
Beth Singer, aye.
Alfred Picard, aye.
Alexander Emmons, I'm going to recuse myself out of a lack of experience here.
So this application is denied on the basis of inadequate access to Lot 8. I'm going to bring the public hearing to a close. Planning Board, we have a few more items on our agenda. The minutes of June 4th and June 18th. I'm not sure I can find my minutes in all of this.
If you need to, you can borrow mine.
I don't necessarily need to see them. Let's take June 4th first. Do I have a motion?
A motion to accept the minutes as presented,
Second?
June 4th.
I'm recused because I wasn't at the meeting.
I will also recuse because I was not at the meeting.
Don? You second?
These are of the 18th?
4th.
The 4th.
Yes, I second those.
All those who are voting,
Wait, I'm sorry.
yes, Bonnie. We're talking about the meeting, the minutes of the meeting on June 4th.
Yes, right. So I thought that was the meeting. Oh, I see. Wait a minute. She redid it. So that it was the next, never mind. It was the next meeting where we agreed that we
Come
needed
back.
to really clarify
Yes, so
our,
that'll come up next, June 18th.
yeah.
This is June
I-
4th. So
I
we
guess
have
what
a
I'm
motion.
looking at is the part that's in red at the top of page 2, item 2G. And so I didn't think that that was our agreement, and maybe that's what came up again the next meeting, but I don't think.
I think our agreement is crossed out. It reads, "The board would like the ADU bylaw to provide for a rental period of 31 days or more."
So our ADU law asks for 6 months to year round. And so that sounds like we want it to be shorter. That, I don't think that's true.
I don't know if it's true of what the board would like, but I think that's what was discussed.
Well, I'm pretty sure that,
That's not a statement, that's not a vote that we made,
yeah, good.
right? It's
Good.
just part of a discussion.
Through the chair, that is correct.
Yeah, so I think what I thought was that we agreed, but I don't quite see it, that we would put that on the agenda of the next meeting to clarify what the board actually wants.
I think the whole issue of this should be on an agenda, not just the timeframe. But,
Yeah,
yeah. Um,
yeah.
No disrespect, but the minutes are what they are, and
Right.
if we need to discuss this in a different direction, Bonnie, bring it up at the next meeting.
but
Well, right, and
This is just minutes.
I thought we agreed that there was enough confusion or disagreement about what any conclusion to that conversation, that we would have another conversation about the time frame in Wellfleet's ADU bylaw.
I think that we
The
want to have,
the minimum time for rental.
Madam Vice Chair, if I may. Bonnie, this is Bob. If you look at the next series of minutes in the June 28th,
June 18th.
Oh,
There-
June,
there-
you mean 18th?
June
yeah,
18th.
the 18th, sorry, there is an item in there about what you're talking about the June 4th minutes. So I think
That's-
we've got the June 4th minutes as written are correct.
Oh, there it is, yes.
Yeah, I think it's correct as presented, and then what you're asking about comes up in the next meeting.
I missed that. Thanks so
Okay.
much, Bob.
Okay.
Okay, let's vote on June 4th. We have a motion to accept and a second to accept as is. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And we have 2 abstentions.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I meant to say,
The minutes of June 18th. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I move to accept.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Bob, I'll second.
Okay, discussion? Vote? All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? Nobody. That was unanimous. Okay. Beth Piles, Town Planner, do you have a report for us?
I do. So I am working on the amending the bylaws, the zoning bylaws for ADUs, seasonal community, and the cluster development. And hopefully we can take that up at the next meeting, which I don't know whether it will be in August or September, but September would be great, so I can send the draft out to you all prior to that, the next meeting.
Excellent.
So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's a segue into our next meeting. So typically, we do not meet in July and August. We meet one or the other traditionally. Doesn't mean we can't, but that's up to the board.
Do we have anything on our agenda other
Just-
than those two?
Just what Beth just
Beth,
talked
okay.
about. The,
We could have a meeting if we had to, if an A and R.
we could call one if something came up.
Yes,
Is it?
Yeah,
are
the
we
chair
in a
could
time-
call one.
yes.
A time crunch with the town meeting for any bylaw changes or the cluster zoning if
That would be
Plus
my
the
concern as
developer.
well. So are we giving the town enough time in advance to consider our recommendation or not?
That- Through the chair, can we ask our town
I
planner?
think our town planner could, yes, tell us that. So, Beth Piles,
Yes.
do we know when town meeting is?
I don't have a hard date. I think it would be in October sometime, but I don't have a hard and fast date.
So do you think if you brought what you're working on in terms of amending the ADU bylaw to us in September, we'd have enough time for town meeting?
Is Justin still on the call? Parada?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't believe that would be enough time.
I would agree. I mean, if there's any sort of back and forth after that, it doesn't give us much time to send that to the select board or whoever's responsibility it is to get to the town meeting.
So that
And
was,
select board is fully sorry, through the chair.
Yes.
I believe they are aware of this, and I have not heard anything from them, but I can keep you all apprised of that. So I will certainly follow up on that.
And would you be ready with the work you're doing in August? Or would you be ready in September?
I can definitely be ready for that. But yes, I can definitely be ready for that, but I do believe it needs to go through the planning board and the select board. But I can be ready.
I don't want to say this, but would you rather we met the last week in August then? Because we usually meet the first and third. So if we met on our regular third week, I'm not happy, but if it's necessary, I think we should do it. It's up to you, Beth.
Meet once in
Meet
August on the
Miles,
third
or-
Wednesday of the month. I think that's what Alfred is saying.
Yes.
Yeah, so it would be August 20th. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Eden?
August 20th.
this is none of my business, but I just wanted to throw out that it would seem, I'm still not quite clear, again, none of my business, but if you met at the end of August, is that enough time, given how the select board makes decisions to put it on the fall warrant even then? Because that's practically September. It's just a question. I don't know if anybody, if Beth Piles has an answer or anybody else, because otherwise you could end up, you could meet at the end of August, it doesn't get on the warrant, and then it goes on the spring warrant of the following year.
But David?
Whatever.
But David,
I-
go ahead, Beth, sorry.
Sorry, through the chair. I don't believe that is enough time. So I will consult with town council, the TA, and get back to you all, if that's okay. But, I mean, if you want to schedule a meeting, we can do that, and we can certainly cancel it, because it's not a public hearing. It's just a meeting.
Well, we're not going to
At
meet
this
twice in
point.
August. We're not going to meet twice in August.
She's just saying that you could do the 20th and then cancel it, but depending on what she finds out.
Right. So, do we,
Oh, if you put it on for, my goodness, yeah, if you put it on for the 20th of August, that does give us enough time.
okay. Do you want to have a meeting on August 20th? All those who want to have a meeting on August 20th, say aye.
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 Yes, but I won't be here.
You won't be here either on Zoom or personally?
I will be here on
Okay,
Zoom. I'll be
so
here
let's
on Zoom.
assume we'll have a quorum, and we'll also have some additional members, I would imagine, by then. So, okay, the next meeting will be August 20th.
Through you to Beth Piles. See if you can find out, I know they're not going to tell you, but if you can get a rough idea of when the town meeting's going to be, because at that point, we can count the days backwards for when we have to have our filings or our meetings plans and all this stuff in so that we know what dates that we have to be ready for. The way it is now, we're not sure when it's going to be, so we could miss it by a day just by the mechanism. So if we can get the Board of Selectmen to maybe give you a theory date, it would be helpful.
Yep. Through the chair, yes, agreed. Thank you, Alfred. And, oh, that's right before my 60th birthday.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to get, to try to get coverage, but I'm approved off that week, because,
You'll be on vacation.
yeah,
Yeah, Eden and I actually have the same birthday,
we share the same birthday.
which is kind of funny. But anyway, that's whatever.
Okay,
But thank you all. So through the chair, I guess the next agenda item,
liaison
Liaison.
reports.
yeah.
Do we have any?
What? It's the two bylaws, isn't it? The cluster, the draft cluster zoning and draft ADU, or, or just making the town bylaw consistent with.
That'll be our agenda for August 20th, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I thought.
Any correspondence?
Just the town of Eastham legal notice, I sent you guys.
We all got that. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I guess, no? Oh, okay.
As a departing member, I will move to adjourn.
Thank you, David. Do we
I'll
have?
second.
Thank you, Al.
I'll second David.
And all those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. That was